Hello, everybody. Formal here, and today I'm joined by one Rubiix from Suprmode Gaming, the last team, or, well, not really the last team. I suppose they did qualify second, so that's not fair to call him that, even though this is the last interview, who has been able to qualify for our top four in the Iberian League. So, Rubiix, first of all, congratulations on all of that and, making it thus far. But I'm sure, first thing on your mind, you're thinking, finishing second in group stage, not good enough. I imagine you're looking at first place right now.
Yeah, I mean, we try our best in the league to take the first place, but Giants is just too big. It's just too big, and I don't know. We are fine with the second place. Even the third would be nice, but would be much better just to take the first place, but we couldn't.
I mean, you still can. It's not as if the Giants have necessarily gone anywhere, barring some sort of crazy upset against EC4. But before you can even get to them, your first opponent in this top four is going to be Los Hombres de Paco. How do you sort of feel coming up in that matchup, and what sort of strengths and weaknesses do you feel you might have over them?
Maybe the strength is that we beat them in the league, and maybe we are thinking we are better than them as a team. But individually, I know they are much better than at least for me because Nachito is quite good as a player. He is CRCS. The Mensas has much experience, and Monster is quite good as well. So will be tough for us because they are pretty good individually. So maybe our weaknesses is that individually they will beat us, but as a team we will beat them.
I do have to sort of agree with there. At times, it has felt like when Los Hombres de Pacos do start playing, just for those solo mech plays and not necessarily trying to set up pass plays or strong rotations, they have faltered, and that has been an area where Supermode has actually done quite well. You guys are one of the most offensive teams in the league. A lot of shots, a lot of pressure on the goal. Do you guys practice that in particular? Do you want to be more defined by an offensive mentality, or is that just a byproduct of all of your play styles?
I think where we're trying to fix is our defense because our offensive is so good. Like it's the best thing we have as a team, but defensively we are shit. Like we are not as good as we are in offensive. So we are trying to fix the defensive issues because we know if we defend as well as we have offensive moves, we would do it so much better. So we have to fix so many things in defense.
Well, I mean, this is going to be, I think, a good sort of showcase to show what you've been able to fix so far. Obviously, playing against some of the best competition, not just in Spain, but in Europe as a whole. And when we saw, four Spanish teams making it into the top four, obviously comparing the Spanish and Portugal scene is a bit difficult. However, when you take a look at Spain and kind of bring it out for all of EU as a whole, how do you feel the nation kind of compares to like the other big nations in Europe?
I think Spain is not too far away from the European teams because Giant has proved on the Euro Cup and any other tournament in Europe that Spain actually have level to compete in big tournaments. Euro Cup, the the Fusion League or Fusion RL,
Hmm.
they just proved that we have the level. At least Giants, but also Nachito trying out with RGM, other Spanish players that just plays Luis P with the Geneva Team Sports that he's not playing this, but he's actually a pretty good player. So we are proving that we have level.
Absolutely.
So I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But then on that same token, we do have to mention the Portuguese teams in this tournament. One team in particular, which actually got the better of you guys for the win, was a bit of a shocker when it happened. However, I guess, looking as a whole, like the Portuguese esports scene, obviously they're still growing. They're still trying to rise to that level. Do you think there's a proper future there? How long do you think it might take for them if they're continuing to practice to get to that same level that, some of the higher European countries are at?
For me, honestly, I think to improve, like as a Portuguese player individually, they have to do like X, Y, Z,
Hmm.
just team up with Easy Four, and they just beat any Portuguese team. So they maybe what I would do is try to team up with other countries, not just for with Portuguese, because teaming up with Portuguese, you have the like you have the advantage that you have to speak with your own language, but you have to raise something to improve yourself, So maybe if they team up, like anyone team up with other players from other countries, they will improve so much more.
Absolutely. Now to kind of shift the topic a little bit, something I've noticed with you in particular actually was the use of that cowboy hat, where it'd be there sometimes, sometimes not. I'm kind of curious what the story is behind that one because it's very unusual to see toppers in high level Rocket League.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes from him inside super mode. uh, I'm like a player who just tries out every car, every super in the game, like just for fun, and it just doesn't affect me like playing. Like Psycho has actually a super as well, I think. So it just doesn't affect at all. Like maybe sometimes something, but I think the cowboy just for a meme. It's just for a meme. Maybe we lost against for the win just
Mhm.
because I wasn't at 100% tryharding. So maybe the super doesn't make me play tryharding
I don't know.
as much as I can.
I feel like the flair definitely adds something, and maybe it's my American background when we love the showmanship side of things, but I absolutely love it when players get to show off like that. Anyways, though I suppose so. To finish up, though, obviously Iberian League is coming to an end this weekend, but in particular, like taking a look at the global scene, there's been a serious push for lots and lots of more tournaments. I mean, the big community push, RLCS Season 10, obviously around the corner as well. I'm not sure what Suprmode's plans is with that particular event, but with all these other community events and just more and more popping up all throughout Europe as well as the globe, what does the future for Suprmode actually looks like after the Iberian League finishes?
I mean, now that RCS season 10 is just coming up, uh, we are thinking about just try to get the RLS spot at least in super mode. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe I don't know. You don't know anything about the future. Like we will try our best to stay together, but now in summer, it just many players are looking for a team, for an organization, for players, squads. Now everyone is trying out with everyone, so we don't know what is going on this summer. Like this summer is the key to have the RCS 10 like
Yeah.
that run.
Well, I'll be rooting for you guys from halfway across the globe. That is absolutely for sure. You have been a lot of fun to watch and a truly pleasure to cast. So, on that note, I wish you good luck in your best of four. I think it's going to be an exciting weekend. And for all of you at home, please tune in because it's going to be a real treat. I mean, Super Mode versus Los Hombres de Paco, that game, I'm sorry to say this, I do feel like it can go either way, although I am leaning more towards you guys in Super Mode, so spoiler right there. I'll get more into that the weekend itself. Also, EC4, they could be that spoiler team against the Giants, so it's going to be a lot of fun. At the end of the weekend, we're going to have a champion, so I look forward to seeing everyone then.